Hello, everyone. How are you guys doing today? So, we've got something different we're doing today. What is that? That is, we are going to meet Mark, JP Hood. I wonder what's his three. You know what I got to ask him? I got to ask him, what's his three name thing? Mark JP Hood, David Allen Greer. What is that? What's that about? What's the whole three name thing about? Anyway, guys, I need you all to do me a favor. I know I ask you guys for favors all the time, but this time I really need you guys to share as much as you can. So I am going to have Mark come in a minute, but I am going to start first because I want to give him some time to share out on his Facebook page. So I'm going to share out, and while I'm sharing out, I need you guys to share out. And Mark will be popping in just a second. So that's my promo. Here's my live video. Y'all like my Nike shirts? I got some pants to match. This is cute too, right? I know, don't listen to me. Okay, guys, I need you guys. Is this the right one? This is it. Right. I need y'all to share out. Sorry about the internet. Work with me. Internet is acting a little wonky today. Can you guys hear me? Can y'all hear me? How's it going? Okay, good. Hear me and see me because the internet is acting crazy right now, guys. So just bear with me. Just bear with me. Bear with me, bear with me, bear with me. I know it's acting funny on my phone. Okay. Hey, Joe Hood, how you doing? Y'all just tell me that y'all can hear me. Okay, great. Great, because on my phone it's looking crazy. So I'm waiting on Mark to come in. I told he wants to go and share on his page first. And so I want to tell you guys a little bit about what we're doing while we're waiting on Mark. So as you guys know, I'm Demi Lobo's mom. For some of you guys that go back to the Demi Lobo days. And Mark is one of my entertainment sons, one of my godsons from just, way back yonder. But when Mark was, he's still singing in church and doing all that. And like I said, it's just interesting how his life came, and him and Demi and all the rest of the LA kids or Chicago kids, how their lives have intersected and interjected in LA. And I love it. And I'm here for it. So Mark, as you guys know, he was on season 9 of The Voice, and we're going to talk about that. He is right now recurring on Black Monday with Don Cheadle. He is, I'm looking for Mark too, by the way, trying to see where he is. I sent him the link. Oh, here he is. Okay, he's trying to come in. He's trying to make it work, y'all. And so he's on Black Monday with Don Cheadle. He's on my favorite show, which is The Resident, which has Malcolm Jamal Warner, David Allen Greer. And okay, guys, Mark is here. He's in the studio. He's ready. So I'm going to bring Mark up. And so then he was also he was singing with he told me we'll talk about it later, singing with Kirk Franklin and some other. He has sang with just some of the greats and done some amazing things. And I want all of our millennials to hear from Mark, to hear how he's navigating from where he started to now. So I'm getting ready to bring him in. You ready, Mark? Hey, Mark.
Hey, what's up?
KC Bizboss in the house.
KC Bizboss. Look at you. You look so good.
Oh, well, thank you, darling. I didn't want to tell people too much about our history, but what was so funny, I do want you to, I did give them a little bit of background on you, but what I do want you to say is, I want you to, when we were talking the other day on the phone and you said, yeah, people ask me about, other than my mom, who else can say something? I want you to tell them about that.
Oh yeah. So I don't mind telling our history if you don't mind.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So Biz Boss and I go back. I used to actually like work for Casey Biz Boss in so many facets with her daughter Demi Lobo, and Demi Lobo and I used to we used to be together. That was my girl, and so Biz Boss, I was like son-in-law, and she treated me like a son. So, I didn't been over there and changed tires before. I didn't vocal produce for them. I didn't hosted events for them in my daddy's church. I mean, just in any facet that they needed me, I've always been. And so I was asked a question recently, other than like your mom or people in your family, like who's another woman who can like boss you around or like you who will tell you something and you're gonna do it? And I said, ah, KC Biz Boss. She has got me together so many times, and
Oh,
I love her dearly.
oh, that is so funny. Oh, I couldn't have given a better entrance than that, a better intro at all. That is so funny. And and it's a thing because let me tell you all, when I bought Leah and I were going to the Stellar Awards before they canceled it, and Leah was smart enough to do it early enough to get her money back. I fell into that. We canceled it, Ticketmaster, we're not giving you your money back type of thing. But anyway, soon as I got my ticket, I called Mark. I'm like, Mark, I'm going to the Stellar Awards. Don't leave me on the red carpet acting like you don't know me. He was like, well, I don't know if I'm going, but if I am, I'm like, I don't want to hear no excuses about
Yeah.
what, who, when.
You
If
talking
you're
about
going to
who
be
you know.
there, right? Who you know. I want to be on the red carpet with you. Okay, don't be trying to pawn me off to nobody.
Easily. If I was there and the Stellars was happening, she would be right there. She would be right
I
there
was
with
like,
me.
no, I'll be on y'all because y'all got short memories. So I want to do something different here in that I queued up the video that I asked you about because a lot of people that follow me have never seen your video. So if you
Hmm.
don't mind me showing a little bit of your voice video, do you
Go
mind?
ahead. Show it.
So I'm excited.
That was a time in life.
Hey. Baby, I'm friends. All they want to do is use me. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Hey, with my answer. Whoa. Scared of all that using me. Listen, baby. I want to spread the news, and that if it feels this good getting used, oh, you just keep on using me. Yeah, until you use me up. Hey, you until you use me up. Hey, baby, you just use me up. Oh, but oh, baby, baby. Oh, when you love me, I can't get enough. No, baby, no. I want to spread the news that if it feels this good, oh, you just keep on using me. Yeah. Until you use me up. Hey, baby, you until you use me up. Hey, baby, you just using me up.
What a time in life.
I know, right? So the reason why I wanted to show that is I wanted to ask you two things. Bill Withers just passed away, right? So I
Yes.
saw a lot of people online that had also covered that song that was feeling some type of way, like, oh my God. So what did you think about when he passed away? I mean, knowing that was like your song that you used on The Voice.
Yeah, it was really crazy. That was the first thing I thought about. To keep it all the way a buck, I was always a Bill Withers fan, but I never thought about singing like any of his songs on the show. I just, liked his music and, was familiar with it, loved him, but I never thought about singing it on the show. And I was given that song. Like I didn't choose that song. I was given that song and I
Shut
protested it.
up.
Yes. And I
You
protested it as
protest.
well. I didn't
Why?
want, because I was just like, I don't think this is the one. Like I just
Right.
thought that I needed to sing something younger. I was younger
Right.
at the time, and I was like, oh, I need something hip. Like if I'm gonna come on as an artist, and then they were like, no, we think this is the one for you. And them giving that song to me literally was another, like, there's so many like life changing moments. That was a life changing moment for me, because like, to see the 4 chairs turn around, to see like the path that set me on the show and beyond, it was just incredible. And to really get into the song, like I sat with that song
Mhm.
for a long time, and I tried to become one with it. And I just, rest in peace to Bill Withers. You are a pillar of the American music songbook. You have written some of the greatest songs. I mean, I wonder if he knew that Lean on Me was going to be like a standard in music,
Right.
forever. So yeah, all much respect and love and honor to Bill Withers.
And before we come up to what you're doing now, just one last thing. So Pharrell was your coach, right? I
Hmm.
cut it off before you chose Pharrell as your coach. How was
Yeah.
that experience?
Oh
I
man,
mean, not many of
Pharrell.
us can say that, right?
Yeah, no, it was incredible. Pharrell was he was the coach on the show that cared. Like, every other coach, I'm sure they care, but I really felt like Pharrell was riding for me. When the producers would be asking, like, well, what do you want Mark to wear this week? And what do you want Mark to sing this weekend? What do you want Mark to do this week? And he'd be like, what does Mark want to do? What does Mark want to wear? Those
Right.
types of things. And then he just kept riding with me. Like, there's moments, I'm keeping it real 5 years later. Like, people should have been beating me in some of them rounds. Celeste, she killed that. She should have. He should have chosen her.
Right.
When we, the next round after that, like he kept saying like, I'm gonna just go with my gut on this one. I'm sticking with Mark. Like he just had this thing. Like we just had a vibe. So I'm grateful for what we had, our relationship, what he did for me on the show, and nothing but love, respect, and honor to Pharrell. I ran into him last year because last some award show, BET Awards or something. We were both backstage, and I hadn't seen him in a while, and we just picked up right back like nothing ever happened. So all love and respect to Skateboard P.
Okay. So now you are on one of my favorite shows, which is The Resident.
Yeah.
And so I'm still like, let me tell you something. I was so excited to see Malcolm Jamal Warner be on a regular. When I saw him, I was like, they wrote that for him. So, I mean, tell me, like I said, I know you've done what, only one episode so far?
Yeah, so far, yes. But
Okay.
being on The Resident, man, it was so cool. I'll even share the audition story. When my agent sent me the audition, it was like one of those same day auditions, like that
Mm,
morning, like, oh, you got an audition at one, and that stuff happens all the time here, like in this field. So I was just like, okay, and it was I had my hair different, so I wear two braids. I just normally wear that, but I
right.
had my hair different, and this role called for a weird hairstyle. He was supposed to have like a purple mohawk, which I ended up having on the show. And when I went in and I did the audition, I felt really connected to the character because he was cool, he was young. Like I didn't have to do any like deep work and like find substitutions and click into really any technique. I
Right.
just imagined the circumstances and started going. And the casting director, I had my hair pulled back into where it was. He was like, let's do it again. Take out your hair. Like it's cool. And I was like, no, this is not what I want y'all to see. Like I couldn't change it. And he's like, no, take it down. We think it looks cool. And I did it. And I really believe that my acting, along with my hair at the time, that random time I had my hair like that, sealed the deal. The next
It
day,
worked.
my agent told me I was pinned, which means you're like almost there, but the network has to approve you. The next day,
Hmm.
I was in rehearsal and I got the email from my manager and my agent, like, yo, Team Hood, it's official. Mark Hood is joining The Resident. I'm like, "Grrr." And at the time, I knew I loved David Allen Greer and Malcolm
Right.
Jamal Warner.
Wait, what's up
But
with this three names? Mark J.P. Hood, David Allen Greer, Malcolm Jamal Warner. What's that all
hey,
about?
I didn't even put that together. I'm gonna have to put them in a group and say that. I didn't even put that together. But
Give
David
me my
is
credit too.
I will. I knew that David was gonna be playing my dad, and I knew that Malcolm was gonna be playing my brother. So I was just like, yo, this is crazy. Like this is a great, like a great next step for you in your
Right.
career, because God has been good to me, and he keeps me working, but I just knew something was special about this. And I'm glad to have joined that show. I've made such good relationships, even just on that set, like with my girl Zoe, who works in hair, and of course David and Malcolm, and the woman who plays my mom, Adrienne, incredible New York Broadway veteran. It's just that
Yeah,
was
yeah.
incredible. Like the resident
It's
is
funny
from.
because I've been watching that show from the beginning. When you tweeted you were going to be on it, I was going crazy. I was like, "Oh my god!" I couldn't wait to see you on the show. So I'm assuming you guys will be back. I only say that not for you to spoil it, but I did hear that they were supposed to be having a family. They were supposed to be having an anniversary dinner or something like that. So that's the only reason why I'm saying that.
Yeah, well, if
Hopefully you'll be at the anniversary dinner, right?
yeah, if you watch the show and you heard that there's going to be a family dinner coming soon, then I will watch next season.
Yeah.
That's all
Okay.
I'm going to say.
I know, that's right. Okay. So my last thing on the so there's Black Monday. Now I haven't been watching Black Monday. What, you're on Black Monday with Don Cheadle. Tell me about that and tell us
Yeah.
where, don't forget, you guys can follow Mark at Mark JP Hood everywhere. If you're on Facebook, you already see him, but also on Twitter and on Instagram. He's verified, honey. But anyway, you're supposed to be verifying your parents too. Tell them about how that goes. But
Yes.
anyway, so what network is Black Monday on?
Black Monday is on Showtime. Really cool show with Don Cheadle. I'll tell that audition story too. It was like the day before. It it was a small, like it was a small passage in the audition, and sometimes in the audition, like you don't really know what it's gonna turn out to be. So,
Right.
he was supposed to be a Black Panther, and normally you dress ish for the audition. Like if you're gonna be, if it's a doctor, you would kind of go in not in necessarily a hoodie and jeans. You would kind of try to, So this was Black Panther. So I put on my turtleneck. I put on a tam, like one of those say it loud, black and I'm proud hats, and like a little jacket, because I'm going in dressed as the character.
Right.
I just had to say like one line, but I just interpreted it the way that I did, which was like that he was at a march and he's like, "We want liberty, we want justice." And I just went in there like, "Oh," and didn't think
Angela Davis
anything of it. Angela Davis, straight up, didn't really think much of it. When my agent, I came to Chicago for something, and my agent sent me an email saying, "Yo, you're pinned. We waiting on network approval." And then once I booked it, I'm like, "Oh my god!" Like Don Cheadle is top 5 for me. As far as actors, like Don Cheadle is a GOAT, one of the greatest to ever do it. And to work so closely with him, right away, we just gelled. Like we had a vibe. Like, and you would have thought the director asked about 2 hours in. He said, "So how many times do y'all work together? Like, what other shows have y'all worked together on?" And we was like, "Yo, we never have. We just got a vibe." And he just became one of my like big brother's role models at this point. And he has taken me under his wing, and he helps me. I have a movie coming out, and when I booked that movie, I hit Don, and I was like, "Yo, man, I got this movie. I've never quite led a movie. This ain't my first film, but to be like the lead, like I need you to help me, like, beyond just the acting, like what do I need to know?" And he just gave me some amazing advice, and I just thank God for Don Cheadle. And then season 2 came around. I only was there for 1 episode, and that character wasn't he was in a flashback. 9 times out of 10, flashback characters do not come back.
Right.
The email,
dead or something, right?
Yeah.
Or something.
Yeah. And so I'm at the gym on the Stairmaster getting it in. I see email from my agent that says, "Yo, I think they're gonna bring you back to Black Monday." I could have fell off the Stairmaster because I said, "What?" I literally responded back to my agent with the laughing emojis, like, "You got to be kidding me," because their role was not supposed to come back. And it came back. The relationship with Don. And another fun fact about this one, and I'm gonna stop being long-winded. Don handpicked me for this. Apparently, I found that Don Cheadle ended up handpicking me for the role when he saw the tapes. He saw the audition tapes, and he was sitting in the room, and then he just said, "The role is Mark Hood. Okay, on to the next one." Like, just so I thank God.
So that's when you know it's for you, though.
Yeah.
That's when you know it's for you. It's just like, I hate to throw this in, but it's almost like how Rotimi, I saw him once on American Gangster, and then he gets this whole 3-4 season thing with, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So sometimes it's just for you, you get it, and it's nobody else's role. Nobody can get it but you. That's it. That's
Easy.
it. That's
Shout
all.
out to Rotimi. Love, bro. Man, you're incredible.
I don't know why I use that. I guess because Power. I
Yeah,
was
no,
watching
shout out to
Power.
him. Like,
I
yeah,
was never,
and he
yeah,
kills it.
I was never an Empire. I was a Power. Some people said you had to be either or. So I was definitely a Power. So
I
I want
watched
to ask
both.
you something I caught on Twitter. I caught this on Twitter. And so was there, I think Usher had a challenge. I know he's on a reality show, but I saw you did this like long explanation. You were talking about Usher, and I think it was almost like you were schooling some people who didn't really know like who he was, or where. I mean, you had this long. So what was that about? What were you telling these people to not sleep on Usher? Why were you schooling them? What is
Listen,
it that
I
they needed
don't
to know?
I don't play about Usher Raymond. You hear me? Usher walked so these new people can run, okay? Like
Okay, all
Usher
right,
has
I got
been in the industry since he was 12 years old. I mean,
right.
Confessions is one of the most top selling albums of all time. I mean,
Okay.
yeah, it's like Certified Diamond, I think. Like, I mean, it's like don't play with him. Do not play with him. The
But what were they
man,
doing? What had they said?
but
What
just
was
lately there's been so many comparisons between him and people that came much after him, and that's all I'll say.
right?
You know,
I
people
said
Usher he's a standard. He's a goat. He's a legend.
it's like
Don't
how
play.
people feel about Brandy. It's like how some people feel about Brandy the same way. Some people feel like Brandy, that's it. Don't mess with Brandy. You got people like that have their person, and it's
Yeah,
kind of like, wait a minute,
but this ain't my person. This is the world's person.
this
Okay,
is the
like
world person.
this
Okay,
is
I got it.
us.
This is,
Yeah.
hey,
So
this is Kobe. Is this Kobe here? Is this
you
the
say what?
Kobe? This Kobe? Is
Oh
Usher
yeah.
Kobe and the Kobe
Oh
right
yeah.
now?
Oh yeah. Come, I mean, Usher like don't play. Don't. That's one artist I don't play about because he's a standard. Don't play with
Right.
him.
Okay, I got it. I was like,
Period.
damn, somebody said something about Usher and Marcus getting them straight.
I don't
So
play.
tell us a little bit about, and you also was on my other favorite show. I got a story. I got a fun fact. So you were on Chicago PD, right?
Yeah.
So what's his first Flager? What's the Fleur?
Patrick.
Michael Patrick?
Yep.
I got a story about him. I went some one weekend. Wait, Pat, how do you pronounce his last name? Fluger,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
So Patrick Fluger, I was in the I went away for a weekend, and I was at the train station at Union Station, and I had 2 bags. Y'all know me; I always got to have one bag too many. And I'm lugging this bag. He came up out of nowhere. He had a skull cap on. I think he lives in the Midwest. He was going to visit, and
Yeah.
he came up. Let me carry that for you. And he carried my luggage all the way up and I said, I know who you are. And it was so funny. And I said, I gotta get a picture with you. So everybody after that was like, he was like, he pulled his skull cap. He's like, okay, let's get our picture in secret. And everybody was like, what's that? What's that? And he's like, no, he told me to keep it a secret. But I'm like, I'm a Chicago PD fan. I know who you
Uh-huh.
are. You carried my luggage. That was so sweet of him.
Yeah,
I
he's
already
super
love
cool.
people, but yeah, that was really like cool. So I know you have. I want to talk to my millennials before anybody starts dropping off. And thank you all for sharing. Y'all did a great job. Y'all got us up to 45 people today. Y'all are GOAT for real. I want to talk about how there's a young girl in Chicago that died. I don't know if you heard it. Committed suicide. The stress and anxiety of COVID had got to her, and her family shared on. And she was an athlete. She was, multi-talented. And I guess the whole like COVID and staying in the house and all of this and the uncertainty of it, it made her, it forced her to commit suicide. So how do these millennials and these young people, how can we encourage them? I was thinking today about all the like, I know Eddie Griffin and all these, and the entertainers that can't gig right now. How are you guys hanging in there, and how do we encourage them to keep going? We might have 4 weeks of that, 6 weeks.
Yeah. First and foremost, I think above anything, you got to believe in something bigger than you. You got to believe in something higher than you. Like you have to have faith and hope. Like that's before anything else. If you don't have that, if we can't cultivate that, then you've got nothing. I truly have faith and hope that this thing is going to move. In the world, in a world of uncertainty right now, I only know one certainty. There's literally right now there's no certainties. I only know one, and that one constant, that one certainty is Jesus. So I know that that's the first thing I got. That's the first thing I got on my side. I ain't working now. This is the first time I'm like almost in my life that I haven't worked like in a month. Like but I got the certainty of Jesus and my faith. Second of all, he gives us knowledge and wisdom to seek opportunities, find things, and to not be too big to get help. Like, none of us, at least not at my level, are too big for help. So there are, provisions for us, like as actors and artists, through Grammys, Music Cares, like artists, background singers, musicians,
So let's
like
take it.
they're
Well, let's
giving
take
out
it one at a time. So you said Music Cares. Then what is Music Cares?
Music
How do you?
Cares. Music Cares is through the Grammy. So if you're an artist or a musician, background singer, and you had shows on the book that are canceled and you can prove that, you go to GrammyMusicCares.com, I believe it's a site, and they have the application on there. And all the details that you need or what you need to submit is all there. And it's money. If you have money on the books, it's free money. They're giving out grants. On the actor side, there's this the Actors Fund, and it's in partnership with SAG, Screen Actors Guild. So if you can prove that you're a member in good standing and you had a loss of work, which they know already because of
Right.
COVID, you can apply for help and grants from them as well. And they're giving this stuff out. Also, don't be afraid. I know it's hard, but don't be afraid to apply for unemployment. Like, everybody may not get approved for it, but there are some people.
Some of
I
these
got
people are coming. Somebody, go ahead. What were you gonna say?
I know some people. I know I have some artists, active friends who gotten approved for it. Like, and
Right.
especially if you're working a lot, it's your just due. Like, if I'm working all the time, that's paying out. I'm paying these places are paying into my unemployment insurance, so that if this
You
was to
know, a lot of
happen,
people don't know that. They think that unemployment is like public aid. You're
yeah,
paying unemployment. You pay into that. When they take those
yes,
taxes, all those things out of your tax, go back and look at your pay stub. There's usually a line on there that says unemployment insurance. So it's just like
exactly.
life insurance, whatever other insurance, auto insurance, life insurance.
Yeah,
I mean,
people truly
unemployment
make unemployment out to be like it's like old school on the unemployment line and at the bread
insurance.
line.
Right.
Like it's not unemployment is your just due. So if you can qualify for it, get you some unemployment.
And the
And
technical name is unemployment insurance. For real.
unemployment insurance. So, and it's right now, it's gonna be hard because everybody calling everybody down. Everybody lost their job other than the essential workers. Essential. I like when they say that I'm essential. But I
Right.
thank God for those essential workers because I need y'all.
Hello.
I went to the store today. But yeah, those are some resources. Also, try to stay creative during this time. And I'm speaking to myself on that because there are some. I'm writing a script right now, and there's some days that I'm like really like into it and inspired, and then 3 days and I'm just like, oh, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that today. I just want to, go outside, work out, and come back in and watch TV. That's okay, but just try at some rate to remain creative, keep your mind on something bigger and something more powerful. And we're gonna get through this thing.
I want to
I
make sure
believe
you
it.
guys download my app, Life After Sports. We're getting ready to
Life
start
after
Life
sports.
After Sports. We're getting ready to have 50 workshops on this app. Everything you guys need is going to be on here. And we're going to start giving away free prizes in the next couple of weeks. You have to download it. It's on both stores. I want to make sure I say that. So here's the thing I also want to throw out here, and then I want to talk about Hood Dreams next. This is important, guys. I ask everybody, if this ended tomorrow, what have you accomplished in the last 4 weeks? What have you done? Okay. I know I've been working. I've been trying to work
Mm-hmm.
out. I've been working, trying to fix my dietary stuff. I've been doing a little walking. I did go to the gym before they closed it all the way out, but I'm working on my workshops for the app every day, every single day. So if this is over tomorrow, what have you done? Because if you tell me you haven't done anything, then time was never your issue. You were just always lazy and trifling because you got time
Yeah.
right now. So you should be motivated to do something. So when you say this is over, I done wrote a script, I done wrote a song, I've got redone my resume, I redid my room, whatever it is, it's your thing.
Yeah.
You do that plus some.
And just something because at the like there's this post that's going around saying if you didn't start a side hustle, if you didn't do this, everybody may not have the wherewithal to start a business and to do something big. But even small things like redoing your resume, looking up new jobs, looking up new opportunities, like You don't gotta go out
So
and
your
invest in
brother is a
McDonald's.
comedian too? Your brother's a comedian too? He's in here talking about I couldn't find a smaller bottle. Matt, I'm not thinking about
Wow.
you.
He's probably talking about me in this one.
I thought he was talking about me. I wasn't sure which one he was talking about. Hey,
He's
we're
definitely probably
trying to be healthy up in here, Matt.
exactly. Matthew, shut up. But yeah, do something. Like even if it's a fitness goal, like
Right.
it's you come out like I want to be able to run a mile after this. You've done something. You don't gotta start a business, go Fortune 500. You don't gotta do none of that.
So tell us about the Hood Dreams.
Hood Dreams Foundation. Oh, it's near and dear to my heart, man. We focus on cultivating the dreams in the youth. I feel like the reason that I have found a level of success, and we put success is whatever you consider success. I found a level of success because I knew at a young age I was dreaming. My parents, my mom, my dad, my aunts, uncles, my brothers, sisters, they all knew at a young age that entertaining is what I wanted to do because I was doing it and I knew that. So that way nothing could deter me. Even when my parents sent me to CHAS, Chicago High School for Agricultural Sciences, that had nothing. Yeah, yeah, even when they sent me there, which had nothing to do with my career, I was still able to get out of there and can't beat them, join them, and do my thing. So I feel like that is what's missing in kids these days. And I found out through the organization that a lot of kids truly they don't really have dreams or hopes. Like it's just kind of like, yeah, I don't know, or maybe. And I felt like that's something that I could help out with. So we bring hope to these kids. So our flagship event, and one day I can't wait for us to be big, like Jennifer Hudson's charity and Toys for Tots and all that stuff. But right now we do what we can.
Call me, we'll work it out.
Exactly. We do our flagship karaoke toy drive for kids, and we benefit the SOS Children's Foundation in Chicago. I can't wait to do it this year. We took a hiatus from it last year, but we did it the 2 years before that. And I'm just excited about the potential of what we're going to do. I, my brother, my family, my sister, my aunt, they all come to this event and we go to hand deliver the toys to the kids at this foundation.
Okay.
So it's really cool. And we do we talk about what they want to do and, kind of give them.
Do you think that the move to LA from Chicago helped your career?
Oh, absolutely. There was nothing else personally, just me. There was nothing else I could do in Chicago. Literally, yes. There's a few things, but for what I was doing in the way that I saw my career going, there was nothing left for me there. I'm a Chicago boy till I die. I'm Southside. I rep Chicago to the end, but I knew that there was a ceiling on the opportunities there. And there's so many, but imagine if there's 8 shows that shoot in Chicago, but there's 100 shows that shoot here. It's like you go where the work is. And I don't like no snow. So that was the next thing. I couldn't do
Well,
winter.
I moved to Vegas for the same reason. It was one day I was shoveling snow. I'm like, this is my last snow shovel.
This is it.
This is it. It was that one day. I was like, this is the last. So now 2 things. So you told me maybe I could talk about Kirk Franklin. I want to talk about the tour. I mean, what you did. I mean, it's an experience that a lot of people don't get to do. So I want to talk a little bit about that, and then we're going to end with the Chicago Gospel at Colonus. You could tell me about that if you want to go into those. If you guys have any questions for Mark, now will be the time, guys. We can see your questions. So if you have a question, put it in the chat and I'll ask them. So those are the last 2 things I have on my list. And then,
Yeah, so Kirk Franklin is the GOAT. So another resource as an actor, because I'm not A-list yet. I'm keeping it a buck. Like I'm not up there yet. So I still have other jobs. So I still sing background. I mean, so I've been sang Snoop and Kanye and Camila Cabello, like just a bunch of people. I do that living out here as well, like and still working in the field.
You gotta pay the bills, right? Gotta pay the bills.
Gotta pay the bills, yeah. And it's it's a great way to pay them.
But so it's not like wait a minute, it's not like you singing for an unknown. Oh, I sing for Snoop. I got Snoop and Kanye to pay the bills.
And so I've been with Kirk. Kirk is the GOAT, man. That's my big brother. I've been with him for about 4 or 5 years now, and it's been great. I've toured with him. I've been on about 3 tours with him thus far, man, considering the Europe on 4. And he's truly become a big brother. Kirk is the music of my childhood. My parents rooted us in Christianity and in gospel music. I thank God for my parents. They are the best thing that ever happened to me, and especially they're the reason I know music and the reason I know arts and the reason I know Jesus. So I'm grateful for all of those
Amen to
things that my
that.
parents gave
What did you think?
to my, what you say?
Go ahead, finish that. Finish that.
And so I've been with Kirk. I love Kirk. We sing. It's great. I love you, bro.
What did you think about the Clark sisters? It just popped in my head. I wasn't going to ask you that, but I just decided to. Even though I keep
Woo!
saying this the
It
last
was so
person.
good.
You liked it?
It was so good. The girl Anjanou who played Maddie Moss Clark,
She did
man,
a
give
great
that
job.
woman her flowers, man. Yo, she need an Emmy. Like, give that woman an Emmy for whatever the category is, because she was great and everybody was great. It was such a heavy story. I wish it could have been longer. I wish it could have been more. I wish we could have got a 3-part series because there was just so much more music once they went solo. Again, we grew up on gospel music, so I know the Clark sisters. My parents' denomination, well, my grandparents. I mean, I think I'm third or fourth generation Church of God in Christ. Wait, right, now and them us. I think right and them daddy was. I think I'm fourth generation Kojic.
Told
And
you.
so again, I know a lot of that backstory and like all like the foolishness
You're
and the
like
good
one,
side.
two,
So
three, fourth generation. Okay, no, I'm
yeah,
good.
I had to count. I still count with my fingers. So yeah, no, the Clark sisters was great, and so gospel music I love, which takes me to the fact that I'm about to be coming back to Chicago to music direct. So in Chicago, I mean, I got my start in theater, young age, and so I haven't done theater in a long time because I moved to LA, and you make the choice, to you won't focus on that anymore. Although theater was my first love, like acting was first, then I really wanted to like sing, but I always wanted to act. And so anyway, fast forward, done theater for years. This theater company called the Court Theater, incredibly amazing theater company, asked me to music direct their production of the Gospel at Colonus. It was on Broadway many years ago, and it hasn't been produced in Chicago in a while. And so we've got a big cast. It's a big joyous telling of one of the Sophocles Oedipus at Colonus. So it's about to be amazing. We've got some amazing cast members. And it's been a challenge for me. Like and I've been working on this musical for over a year now. We're actually supposed to be rehearsing right now, but because of COVID, we had to move the show to September. But they called me last March, and between last March and now, I've been working on this. So I'm really excited to step into that field of things. Like I've always been on the stage as an actor and stuff, and I've done like vocal directing, but like actual music directing, like on a big stage like this in musical theater. And it's a true testament of God. Just what's for you is for you, and He
Yeah.
doesn't always call it qualified. He qualifies the call. Like when I was called for this, I
Oh,
didn't
come
want
on
to take it
now.
at first.
I love that. Tell
You
me,
know,
say
I didn't
that
want to take it
again.
at
Say that
first.
again.
Sometimes God doesn't call the qualified, He qualifies the call. So you may not think that you're good enough for something, or you may not think that this opportunity is for you because you didn't go to school through or this, that, and the third. But God will qualify you. He will give you everything you need to get everything into fruition to get it done. So remember that. I mean, that's something I'm sure either my father or my grandfather preached that one time. I'm sure that's where I got it from. I'm gonna give that one to Rara, which is my grandfather. But it could have been my daddy. I don't know. One of them.
Yeah,
It's good
yeah.
ground.
So before we leave, I have just one more thing. And when you were talking about so two things. You just talked about working on this project for over a year, right? And that
Mm-hmm.
you guys should be rehearsing right now. So for our millennials out there, have you guys worked out a Zoom, a teleconference, or anything else to use technology while you guys are waiting, while they're waiting on you to get there? Have you instituted like, a multicast Zoom where I mean, what other things will you be able to use technology wise until you can get there and practice in person?
Well, yeah, definitely with the music team, like my assistant music director and my assistant conductor and vocal director. The music staff is 4 people. We're always on Zoom or group FaceTime meeting. And the thing is, we have to do that anyway because everybody else is based in Chicago and I'm here. So weekly with the director, which is, dramaturg, all of those people, we're always on video chat discussing the show. Can't work with the cast yet just because their contracts don't start until they step into rehearsal. But on the other side of things, we definitely are still working and ready, and it's gonna happen when it's supposed to happen. So, my prayer is that the world is back open by the fall, and then we can all get back to work.
I know that's right. Well, Mark, if anybody doesn't have any questions, I'm going to wrap this up. I thank you so much for your time. This was amazing.
Thank
We
you.
got Matt in here telling jokes, honey, talking about our water
Matthew.
bottles and stuff. Tell him we just trying to stay healthy and get
Oh,
it
Matt, exactly. What
done.
you drinking, Matthew? But I ain't gonna
Exactly.
go there.
All right. Thank you so much, guys. And thanks everybody for sharing. You guys did an amazing job today. And what's Sharice saying ghetto for? Because you had that water. They talking about you, Mark. They coming for you.
Oh, Sharice. Oh, that's Reese Cup. I want to give a shout out to Reese Cup. Sharice Thomas. That's my best friend. And she's Reese Cup.
Thank you, Miss Hood. Thank you for everybody, Matt Hood. Thank all of you guys for showing up today. And thank you for all of my regular followers. And this is, like I said, our Hall of Fame Celebrity Speakers Tour. We will let you know who we're going to have next. Don't forget to see my interview with Jane Kennedy. Y'all, Jane Kennedy is 68 years old, and she still looks good, okay? Make sure you
Go ahead, Jane Kennedy. Come on, Jane. Go ahead, Jane Kennedy.
All right,
Go ahead, Jane.
guys. Thank you. Love you,
Bye,
Mark.
y'all. Love you.
Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for coming. And make sure you guys bookmark my page so that when I do interviews or when we do shows, you guys will make sure that you get my notifications. Turn on all your notifications for me. Please make sure you turn on the notifications for the app as well. Life After Sports, we have 45 workshops getting ready to start in the next 4 weeks, guys. How to start your own business, how to start your nonprofit, domestic violence, gambling, whatever it is that you need, wealth building, everything is on this workshop, guys. So make sure you guys download this app, our Life After Sports app. Thank you so much for coming and attending and sharing today, guys. Bye-bye.